The whole thing with the blog thing, people started calling things blogs back many years ago.
Sure.
And just for clarity, what it is, a blog really isn't anything special. It's just a web page with content on it.
Okay.
And I don't know where they came up with the word blog or, or where that even came from, but everybody likes to put their own names on things so they can claim ownership of it. And that one happened to take off like Kleenex, so now it's a household name.
Yes.
But really, it's kind of like a diary. Originally, it was made for an online diary where you could journal.
Yes.
And you could follow someone's saga. But then the marketing community kind of adopted it and used it for content.
Yes.
Basically posting content and the same type of thing, but just for a little different purpose.
Yes.
Instead of like the daily journaling on a blog, just so you could follow someone, like, a lot of celebrities did that. People created massive followings of people that wanted to know what they were doing.
Sure.
But in the marketing space, it's more for posting content to get people to know and like and want your products.
Yes.
So it's really nothing special. It's just a part of your website where you can add pages to easily. And that's where WordPress came in and made it really super simple for people to do that.
But I feel like I need at least kind of a plan, a roadmap, John.
Yeah.
So I don't just, start popping stuff up and then I go back later and say, oh, I wish I had done this way. It would have been a shortcut if I had turned here instead of there.
Yeah, absolutely. So a more solid plan, like from my point of view, a more solid plan for running a blog is really to plan out your strategy for your marketing and figure out, what verticals do you have? And in the ACT program, that kind of goes back to your segmentation. So if you have multiple segments of markets, either of one market or multiple markets, you would create a segment of content for the site. So that would be, you would section out your blog into different sections. Like, for instance, a real clean, easy example is a realtor. A realtor has two major segments of his audience, which is buyers and sellers.
Sure.
So the content for the buyers is much different than the content for the sellers because they have a different outcome they want.
Sure.
So with you just need to figure out what are those major segments for you. Like, you might have a segment that is just all about adrenal. And then you might have a segment that's all about thyroid, or you might tell me that those both are intermixed and that's one segment. But that's kind of the...
They overlap, and we don't, I tell people don't try to start both at the same time, no matter what.
Gotcha.
Start where you are.
Okay, so your main segment of this might just be, how to figure out what's wrong with you, and kind of go back to that program we started to create for the thermometer of, your temperature tells all. I don't remember the exact slogan, but we came up with a great one for that.
Okay, and I must have the notes on it someplace.
Yeah, you probably have the notes that we did on that, but that is a great entry point to grab someone's interest, and then you could educate them from there. So you might have like different blog posts, if you want to call them blog posts, or just content articles. It doesn't matter what you want to call them. It's all the same thing. It's just pieces of content.
Sure.
We used to, in the old days, we would call it an article. So you create these articles that kind of go from one to the next and lead people through. And the main goal in marketing is to create demand and desire by educating them. And you're kind of walking them through the process so they can understand that what you are offering is the perfect solution for them.
Okay.
If you're doing it that way, you're truly building marketing material. If you're just writing for the sake of journaling, then I call that just mumbo jumbo. and it really is. It's not to any point. It's kind of like you're just spinning your wheels.
Well, don't really have any desire to do that for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that has worked for a few people that somehow got celebrity status for something, and they build a major following. But I wouldn't recommend it as a general rule of thumb, because it's an anomaly.
Sure.
So, what I like to do is kind of go by a structure that's a proven method of success. And that's building a solid marketing campaign. And you can use your articles to do that. So you have entry points to bring people in, and then you're taking them on a journey. And, the journey is helping them. The journey is letting them understand, more about their problem, or more about the path to get what they want. And generally, there's generally a villain in every story. So, if you can strategically build that in, like in your case, the villain is the symptoms that they're having. The villain could also be the system. The system is not made to fix your problem. You go to doctor after doctor after doctor, and you still feel lousy.
Sure.
So that could be another villain in the story. And then, you're basically, what you're doing to bond with them is you're stepping in their place to fight for them. And your story goes along with this perfectly, because you had this problem and you created the solution because no one else would. So you took it, you took the bull by the horns to solve the problem. And you didn't just do it for you, now you're doing it for them. So you're really taking a stand for them, and people love that. That is what will, create a community that will buy from you and follow you till the end of time. So you have a perfect scenario for creating that marketing material.
Just need to get it done.
Yeah. We need to get control. I feel like you have so little control over your site and your mailing list and all that stuff, and it's just like we're in the boxing ring and we got our hands tied behind our backs and we're just taking a whooping.
Yes, if it's not one thing, it's another. But so that's what I really want to do. I think right now I want to at least make some kind of an outline.
Yeah.
That says, this is the blueprint, and then I can just start whacking out the stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Because the content. I mean, that's going to be a piece of cake for you. You just kind of need the structure of, okay, what holes are we going to fill here? And I love the way Perry Belcher kind of outlines his, because he does this on all of his content sites. Well, he doesn't do it, but this is what he trains his team to do. And he says, ultimately, we're going to build a fish here, but we're going to start with the skeleton, and then we're going to put the meat on his bones.
Okay.
So the skeleton is the structure I was talking about. That's like the backbone of what are your segments, what are the ribs look like, what are the content pieces to each segment. And then once you have that, you've got a bunch of holes to fill, and you fill it up, and at the end you've got a whole fish.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a graphical way to think about it that makes it easy for a lot of people. They're like, oh, okay, I can do that. I have a plan now. I can do that.
Yes.
But kind of, you tell them to create all this stuff and they have no plan, and it's just like they're just sitting there spinning, going, oh my God, I don't know where to start.
Or there's just so much to do.
Yeah. So the start, it's kind of cool, because the start always falls back to the ACT program, and the first step is segmentation.
Okay.
It's like, figure out what are those major segments, and then the people that are in them, they become your avatar, and then you look at what's important to them, and then your content becomes very clear. If you're building content that solves that problem of what do they need, what's important to them, you're always going to be on track. you're always going to be going in the right direction and never spinning your wheels. It's when you operate outside that box that things just, it seems like you're doing a lot of work, but you're not moving in any particular direction.
Yeah, well, that's certainly going to be true the next few weeks.
Especially the direction you want to go.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll start making some notes. Maybe we can compare notes, and I'll start getting a campaign together, and maybe it'll give me. I need to figure out then how to connect Kartra with the website.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Can, send the articles out as an email.
Yeah. Well, I think once you get your Volusion under control and you get it up to, the newer versions where it gives us access to that stuff, it'll be a lot easier, because Kartra, I know Kartra now like the back of my hand.
Oh, awesome.
So creating the Kartra campaigns, that's not even an issue anymore. I can do that in my sleep.
Okay, well, good. I look forward to being able to do that. I know I can send emails from Volusion. I just don't know anything about how to do it.
Yeah.
And if they charge me for sending them, don't have a clue.
Okay. Well, when you're working with the person that's doing your new site and getting you up to date in Volusion, tell them at the end when they complete the project that you want a training session on how to do that, and then make sure that I'm on that training session with you, so I can at least know how to guide you.
Oh, that'll be awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good job.
Because I'll want to know, like how to add content, how to add products, how to get to the mailing list, how to segment and send to particular pieces of the mailing list. And once I get that knowledge, that understanding, then I'll be able to help you with it.
Okay.
But the where it was in that old version, I don't really think it had any of those abilities.
Well, there was a lot that it didn't have, for sure.
Yeah.
So hopefully, and this morning I heard from somebody, it's like, I'm trying to order, when will this stuff be back in stock? And it's like, it is in stock. And is there something wrong with the shopping cart as well? I mean, today would be a perfect example of, that's yet another nail in the coffin that, it's just crazy.
Yeah. Well, you have a beautiful asset, which is that mailing list. We just need to be able to, get some stuff to sell, and then we'll be able to sell it through your mailing list very, very easily. Very easily.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Just get my hands on the reins of that one, and we'll drive that train.
Okay.
All right. Well, cool. Anything else? Anything else you're up against there or need help with? Or
I got a quick question.
Okay.
Is there a good tool to use for analyzing mobile site, or does the regular tool?
There's quite a few tools that will analyze a mobile site to tell you if it's mobile friendly, but I don't know of any of them that will look at it and tell you if it's actually user friendly. And that's really kind of the big issue. There's a lot of them that will tell you how fast the site loads, and if you're resizing the frames properly and all that, but there's no substitution for actually looking at it on multiple different mobile devices. And that's really, I think, for optimization, optimization now is not just about the code.
Right.
It's about, how the user experiences the site and how they consume it. So
it looks fine as of sizing and everything, but it's not real friendly, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. If it's not friendly to you, then it's probably not friendly to your users either.
Yeah, I was just curious if there was any software you can run that says fix this, fix that, fix this.
Yeah, I don't know of any that. I don't know of any that are doing that like on a visual platform.
Okay.
I know they can look at the code. That's not a problem. There's a ton of them that do that. But what we're talking about, there's nothing going to replace the human eye.
Right.
And hopefully the human eye that's attached to good logic.
So is the one that's attached to the site pop a decent site reviewer, I'm guessing?
Yeah, what that does is that will check the load speeds. That will check to see, it gives you a grade. It grades a bunch of different stuff. There's another one, I don't remember the name of it, but I got a white label version of it that I could give out to all the members. Did you get that one? I don't remember the name of it.
I've got the Be the Hero one.
Be the Hero.
And that one, it was really detailed, but it was like some of it that they were marking wasn't necessarily things that needed to be flagged.
Yeah. I think, let me look in the bonus section here, because there was one that I bought a master license to give to everybody. Let me see if I can find it here. I think it was the voice search. Yeah, if you look under the bonus, there's one called voice search, and it was voice rank 360.
Okay.
And what they had is they have a report, and they run the report, and then in the report, I believe they give you recommendations on what to fix, and then you can go over to Fiverr, and there's guys on Fiverr that will do that.
Okay.
So if you didn't get that already, send in a support ticket, and I'll set you up with an account for it.
I don't think I have that one yet, so I'm logging in.
All right, and then there's another platform I'm looking at. These guys are up in Canada, and they've got a really cool end-to-end solution for outsourcing. And I know you had a client that you needed social media services for, and they actually had it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Not client. So.
I've got a meeting with them next Wednesday that we're going to go through and do like a run through of their system, so I can see exactly how it works and what exactly they offer. But it might give you, access to a lot of things to resell.
Okay.
A lot of good stuff. And also, I know we have a lot of people that are wanting to do affiliate stuff with the SitePop software. And I just created, this is a really cool feature inside of Kartra. I just created a campaign that I can share with you guys. Because this was a really cool feature that was in ClickFunnels. And it never really came about to translate over to Kartra, but now they have it. And it's the way ClickFunnels got so big so fast. They had people that were creating marketing campaigns inside ClickFunnels, and then if you bought ClickFunnels through their affiliate link, they would give you the marketing campaigns. Like they did a free book funnel, and all of these real popular marketing campaigns that the internet marketing space was using. And they created them and said, hey, I will give you this. It's a turnkey template to do what we're doing. And they sold a boatload of ClickFunnels by doing that. Well, Kartra now has that. You can create a campaign and then you can share it. You can give it away, or you can even sell it. You can actually build a campaign, put it in their marketplace, and actually sell it. Really, really a cool feature. So what I did is I built out an end-to-end campaign to sell the SitePop service as a retail offer, like selling it to local business. I called it Local Business Booster. And, they can buy it for $97. It's guaranteed to work within 90 days. And The guarantee is that you'll run the campaign for up to a year. If it doesn't work in the first 90 days, you'll run it until it does work for up to a year. And I think it's a great campaign. It addresses all of the fears that the local marketing community has, from spending a ton of money on SEO, buying stuff that didn't work, overextending their budgets, all of that stuff. It solves all of those problems. And the product actually works phenomenally. I've used it on several different local businesses now, and it works very, very quickly. It's crazy how fast and effective it works.
Say what is it again, John? I missed that.
It's the SitePop software. It's our new Rainmaker. So
Okay.
It's the new version of Rainmaker. We're calling it SitePop now.
Okay.
And it works just like phenomenally. I've used it on my own site, which any of you guys that have followed me for any amount of time, I've never optimized my own sites. And quite honestly, I suck in the rankings. and I've always been of the opinion that I should be doing the stuff for the people that are paying me, not doing it for myself. And when I put SitePop on my own site, it started ranking within a couple of weeks for stuff I couldn't even believe. Like I just looked yesterday, and I was coming up now for SEO training in Huntington Beach, and I've never come up anywhere on the radar for that. So it's pretty cool. It works really, really well. So anyway, so I put that campaign together, and we're going to be giving that away to anybody that's got the agency version, because the agency version really is built to sell that to other businesses. So that's going to be a piece that actually helps. And I was actually, Gwen, you have a Kartra account, right? There I am. I unmuted you.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. Yes, yeah. I do.
Okay, so what I want to do, I want to give you the code, and I'm going to be gone. I'm heading out here pretty quick for another meeting. But when I get back, I'll send you the share code. And I wanted to hop on Zoom and just see when you import it exactly what happens.
Okay, that would be awesome, because I've been working on trying to figure out a good one to send out. I've got about 20 people I want to send it to.
Okay.
Maybe about 22. And I was trying to build something, so that would be awesome.
Yeah, no, I got it built out. It's really cool. It's got I think there's 14 assets to the campaign.
Okay, that would be great.
And it includes a calendar, because in the campaign, the way it sells it, when they go to the landing page, it talks about the guarantee, it talks about the qualifications, that not everyone qualifies for those. And when they make their original purchase, the part of the intake is looking at their site to see if it even qualifies. And then if it doesn't qualify, you just give them their money back.
Mm-hmm.
If it qualifies, and it's all done through that calendar system. So the calendar system is built right into it. So when they place the order, they get the calendar link, they schedule the calendar link with you, and then you get them on that consultation. And that also gives you an opportunity to upsell them into other products as well. So it's a true agency piece for anybody that's selling services.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. So, because I know exactly what you guys need, because I do that.
Right.
So that's what I did, and it was really cool. It took me almost all day to build that piece out, but if you've played around with Kartra for any amount of time, there's a lot of hidden things that you've got to configure.
Well, I tend to get it started, and then I got to build this to link it, and then I got to go back and build another part to link it, and I'm constantly, seems like in circles on it.
Yeah, exactly. And I do the same thing. I mean, I know Kartra like the back of my hand now, but I still forget stuff. I feel I still have to go back, and I'm doing that like what you're talking about. I'm going back to the beginning to come back and forth. Uh, eventually, eventually I'll stop butting my head against the wall and I'll make a blueprint and just go through it A to Z. But you're just remembering all the little pieces that you need from one to the next. It's there's a lot.
Yeah, that's the hard part for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Is there a way to do the calendar link through Kartra, much like we did with Time Trade? That we can
Yes, yeah, absolutely. In fact, you don't need Time Trade anymore.
I did not renew Time Trade, so.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. So you don't actually need Time Trade anymore.
Okay. I don't have it anymore, so.
Yeah, no, Kartra allowed me to kill so many things off. I love it. I absolutely love the way that thing has replaced almost everything I was using before.
Right. I just got to get it earning money now.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that should be really easy. Do you have all your payment gateways set up and you're all ready to go?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, then this should be pretty easy, especially if you have prospects. We'll import this campaign in there for you, and then you can just start sending out the invites to the squeeze page.
Okay, that would be great. I've got a few prospects. I don't have nearly as many as I should have, but.
Okay. Well, this gives you the ability, once you have a system like that, it gives you the ability and the confidence to go out and generate leads. I know, like for myself, if I don't have a system in place, I'm not very motivated to generate leads.
Right.
So with this, you'll have that confidence of going out and talking to people and saying, hey, if you're interested in this, let me send you some information, and then you can just put their name in. Once you have a landing page, they don't have to go to it. You can get their information, and then you can drop their name and email into the thing, and now they're in the sequence.
And that's what I need to do. I've got a lot of people I've talked to that have expressed mild interest, but I haven't followed up with them, and I've kind of been waiting to have this process in place to do that.
Okay, well, perfect. Maybe we'll have that solution for you now.
Okay, that sounds great.
Yeah, and if you ever go to like networking events, this is something that I have just noticed over the last lifetime, let's say. When you're at a marketing event, and even for me, when I speak on stage, even if you tell people to go to your website, they're never going to go.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not going to happen. They'll write it down, and then they'll get home and they'll put it somewhere, and they'll never get there. So to do lead generation at a marketing event or at a networking event, you literally have to get their information and put it in for them. And then you have a way to follow up with them. But if you just say, hey, go to my website if you're interested and get on my, get on this list and I'll send you some information, it'll never happen. I've done it for years, over and over and over, and I get home and I'm expecting, I had half of the room excited about this, and then I've got 0 on the mailing list. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
So, like at the last marketing event I went to, I had people put their card in a hat if they wanted information that I was doing, and they all did it. They all do it on site right there. They'll do it in the moment. And they all put it in. I mean, I had a whole pile of cards and information. I came home, I entered them all into Kartra, sent them the follow-up email, and I actually got probably 1/3 of them to do a private consultation.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it was way better. It was like the best results I'd ever had. It was just from that one little switch. You just cannot expect them to go and do something outside of the event they're in, because they're so distracted.
Right.
But, by the time they tell you they're going to go to your website, they've probably told 50 people by the end of the day they're going to go to theirs too, and then you're just, it's a wash.
Right. Well, I definitely have a lot of business cards from networking groups, events, etc. that probably contact and follow up with and get moving again.
Yeah. All right. Well, anybody else here before we hop off and get back with it? All right. Well, last call here. Any last minute stuff?
It looked like Tosh was popping on and off, and it looks like he may have just popped off.
I think he was playing around with his virtual background.
Yeah, it looked that way.
Yeah, cool stuff. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for today. I've got that meeting I got to run out to, and so I'm going to go get that taken care of. And like I said, Gwen, when I get back, I'll send you that invite, and then maybe we can hop on Zoom and see what that looks like.
Okay, that sounds good. I'm going to be running off about 11:30, probably for about an hour, and then I should be here till 3.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Well, I'll hit you up when I get back.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, everybody. Have a great week, and we'll be back on with you next week. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.